you're facing in the right direction. All you gotta do is keep walking.
Hey there, how you guys doing today? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. Sorry about it being a little late. I was having some difficulties this morning. I decided to play hooky at work and get a little work done here in the new homestead. But, there was some news today, so I thought I should probably pull together some sort of a little bit of video. So thanks for joining me out here by the fire tonight. Right now, we got the market. It's down a bit. I'm sure you guys have all seen that. We're looking at Bitcoin down a little over 8%, coming in at 10,300 area. A lot of people are very concerned about Bitcoin dropping below the 10,000 area. If we're going to be seeing the tone base 7,500, if you're really concerned, with the news that's going on, definitely don't go putting your money into Tether. You might want to, if you got a Coinbase account, drop out to, the USD account they got there if that's something you're needing to do because you really believe it's going to go low. But as always, I'm not giving any financial advice, and I'm not doing anything with my Bitcoin. It's still locked up in my hardware wallet, nice and safe. So, we got a market cap still coming in at 516 billion right now. We got like 25.2 billion traded in the last 24 hours. So, the cryptocurrency is still moving around. We still got the BTC dominance hanging out at 33.7%. Ethereum's coming in a little bit below that 1,100 range. Oh, I got Ripple. They dropped a little bit more than everybody else. They're down about 11%, coming in at the $1.18. And we got Bitcoin Cash coming in at like 1,500. They're down 9.3%. And as always, I got to be talking about Steam and what's going on over there because you got to go sign up and start collecting that free cryptocurrency. As always, I keep saying that platform is going to be blowing up before you know it. It's going to be one of the biggest social media sites. The way they have this paying their content creators instead of just the commercials. Way better. But as always, Steam coming in at what I got here, $4.95. That's down 16%. So they're hurting a little bit. But it's all coming back. We know that, right? And the Steam back dollar's hurting even more. So you might want to hold on to those for a day or two and see if that price can't come up a bit. Coming in at $5.54. That's down like 17.8%. Ouch. Good thing I cashed out the couple dollars I had this morning, right? Thank you guys, as always, for that. So, what are we looking at here for news on Bitcoin and coffee? Last cup of the day. Well, first off, let's talk about Facebook. Okay, Facebook is saying that they're going to try to prevent, the scams that have been going on. And, that's one of my big pet peeves, and one of the things I'm always out here talking about is that, 80% of everything you see going on in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and ICOs and all this stuff that's asking you to give over Bitcoin for something, they're a scam. And they're saying that they're going to be trying to prevent this by not allowing any advertisers to do any kind of advertising or ICOs to be advertising on Bitcoin. How is this going to play out? I don't know. Only time tells with these things. Pretty much personally, I only use Facebook to talk to family at this point. I try to do any of my social media and over on Steam. But, it is one of the largest platforms out there. Everybody is using Facebook. Everybody has a Facebook. So, it's definitely going to be cutting back. I think this kind of has a lot to do with everything that happened with BitConnects because I did see some commercials on there at different points. I've seen commercials for faucets before they started getting pulled. I think they're just going to try to steer clear of this. And I think that definitely means that, hey, you know what? Cryptocurrency's getting big. Yeah, it is. If they're steering away from it on Facebook and trying to say scams, this and that, you just got to be smart and know not to get sucked into all these scams that are ripping everybody off. You got to have the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency education, knowing about owning your private keys, how to keep it safe, and if you're going to invest, how to invest safely, right? All right, so next up is Tether. This one's a big one. We knew this was coming. It had been said for a while that every time the price of Bitcoin had dropped, a lot of Tether all of a sudden came on the market because people were using that as a chance to be able to trade, from Bitcoin into the US dollar and then back into Bitcoin, making small gains and not necessarily getting, jumbled up in any kind of taxes like you would see possibly if you were back and forth selling on Coinbase. So they're being subpoenaed. It's it's Bitfinex and Tether together. They're both being subpoenaed. The U.S. is going to start cracking down here in 2018. I've also heard some ICOs are getting sucked in, and the SEC is going to be looking at them. They've had some cease and desist orders. So as we move forward, we're definitely going to be looking at a situation of the U.S. government trying to, strong arm cryptocurrency into, how it wants it to be. But as always, Bitcoin, it's going to come through. It's going to find a way around any of these things trying to control it, because that's how Bitcoin's designed. Bitcoin is designed to be here. Bitcoin is going to be the next set of money. Bitcoin is... it's unmalleable to these kinds of threats that are coming at it from government and regulation. So, all right, I like to give 3 stories. The last one I got coming up, it's still some more of this downer news. And pretty much I'm thinking that this is a lot of a situation of, Bitcoin pumped up real fast, and it's just that it's taking a little bit of a moment here for the Bitcoin price to really evolve and people to understand what's happening and all of that, because right now Coinbase, they're charging too much for transactions. I mean, it's segregated witness says, the adoption level is up. The price per Satoshi is down. I told you I sent a transaction the other day for like $200 and something, and it only cost me $3, where like a month ago it would have been $30, $40. So why is Coinbase's price still the same? I mean, is this definitely some sort of, is there a potential lawsuit there, as they were saying on World Crypto Network today? Potentially. And it's not just Coinbase. I've also noticed that there's quite a few exchanges out there still with the same fee that they like to charge. And, it's kind of unfair. If I can go to my hardware wallet and send $200 for $3, why should it be costing me $30 or $25 to send that same exact amount out of Coinbase? Right? They're price gouging. So what's going to be done with this? Other people are going to be having to come onto the market here and sell this stuff. This is definitely a trying time for new investors. There's not necessarily the correct avenue like there was when we got on, where it was get a Coinbase account, buy Bitcoin, get a hardware wallet, let it stack up. Well, Coinbase is not really doing right by their customers anymore. And Bitcoin is evolving very rapidly. And there's government regulations stepping in here left and right. And a lot of people are trying to pull your attention in different directions to get you to buy other cryptocurrencies and invest in ICOs and all of these different things. So, it can definitely leave a new investor unsure of where to go. So, as always, my recommendation, even though I'm not giving financial advice, is I just get Bitcoin on the cheap whenever I can. I try not to go out and eat fast food and waste all my money on those luxury items so that I can save it up when I can. So, when Bitcoin does drop, I can pick some up, because you know what? I know that down the road, Bitcoin's going to work itself out. I know that a lot of these other cryptocurrencies and stuff are going to probably wash up. And I know that I'm going to be a better person for it, because just like, a farmer, you got to plant your seeds now, because the harvest is coming later. So as always, if you like everything that's going on here on Bitcoin and Coffee, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, because these numbers, they're picking up, and it's great. And you know why I think this is? It's because we got a nice small community here. I got that free help desk service, as always, at eugeneforrest20@gmail.com. And, I just want to sit here and talk about what I'm doing with cryptocurrency. I just want to invite you guys over to my house for a cup of coffee every now and again. Hang out by the fire if you want. My life's better because of Bitcoin. And you know what? I think it could probably get a little better for you guys too. So as always, come on over to Steam, upvote my post if you can. It's one of the best things you do. Got all those tools and stuff down below. But as always, you guys, remember, keep your Bitcoin safe.